Hey, and we are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And hope everybody's doing well. If you're logging in, if you're coming into our video a little later, um, that's okay. Just let me know if there's something you see that we may have not sold yet. Okay, the basic intro here. Let's get through that. And let me get taking a little too much light here on my face. Let's clean this up. There we go. There we go. Okay, like I say, welcome. We are up in Northwest Vermont. I say we, my wife and I. And we are about 2 hours from Montreal, 95 miles, actually, to be more precise. Less than an hour to the border, maybe, or maybe an hour, depending on how you drive. We're about 18 miles outside of the city of Burlington, which is on Lake Champlain. That kind of gives you an idea. I can see Mount Mansfield from my front yard. And Mount Mansfield is the highest peak in Vermont. And on the other side of Mount Mansfield is Stowe. And those who are skiers or visitors to Vermont probably know about Stowe. And Waterbury Center, which is where Ben and Jerry's started. Well, actually, technically, Ben and Jerry's started in Burlington, but their first facilities they built is in Waterbury Center, actually. So that's where they are. And I always recommend the tour when people come up here to visit. Well, let's see here. What else do you need to know? I guess that covers pretty much the usual stuff. We go through the usual thing. If you are new here, please send me an email. Email's on the bottom of the screen there. It's also in the chat. And send me your real name, your YouTube name, your shipping and PayPal information. So people have been really good about that for the most part. And there have been a few people. I fortunately have other contacts, other sellers like me. Like I had Beth here last week, and I was on her channel prior to that. So we do share information. If somebody forgets to email us, that's okay. I do not require registration per se, like a lot of people do, and other than just need your information so I can bill you and send your stuff. So in fact, I don't even think I've got the subscriber things changed to it's the subscribers only. So if you haven't subscribed, it really does help to subscribe. So please subscribe to our channel, and hit that thumbs up as well for a like. That helps everything with the algorithm. I had a pretty good week last week with the folks and with Beth, and it was a lot of fun. And I think we'll be getting together again sometime soon. That's kind of whatever works for the both of us, I guess. We'll see how that goes. I'll leave that invitation open to anybody who's interested in selling. Even if you're a first time and never done it, I'll help you with that. So if you're interested in joining me, zing me an email and we can talk. And let's see, what else? I don't forget. Oh, yeah. So we went through that. I invoiced, like I said, through PayPal, and we calculate all the shipping with Pirate Ship, which gives you the best deal I can. So it's usually going to be most likely if it's a small package, it ends up usually being post office. If it's a larger package, sometimes UPS beats them pretty handily, actually, on price. So I will ship it whichever is the best way and the cheapest way for you. I would say I want to package it well. So especially if it's something breakable. Jewelry generally is pretty resilient, but I always make sure it's packaged well. I'm trying to recall if I have any silver items tonight. I think I might have a couple. We'll have to see as it goes. I can't remember. I just throw things together, and sometimes I'm kind of picking and choosing as I go. So I don't think there are any gold items tonight that I can recall. There were a couple of rings I had a while back, and if you're interested, I do have one gold wedding band style ring that if anybody who's just wants to buy it for the gold content, let me know. And I've got a few other items like that. I did come across a really interesting item today that we have that I'm really happy with. Actually, a couple of items today that we got today that I'm really happy with. So we have jewelry, of course, and that'll be mostly jewelry and some purses tonight. Jewelry, purses. I got a couple of Raydon pieces. Anybody interested in maps? And I mean, these maps are rather unusual. They're reproductions of World War One. Hometown Country Marketplace. Oh, hey, Tammy. Oh, cool. Oh, yes. Okay. I think I've seen you on somebody else's channel, Tammy. welcome, welcome, welcome. Appreciate your being here. Um, so, as I said, I have some really interesting stuff. I always have some ephemera if anybody's interested. In fact, I found out I have some cabinet cards, and I know there are people out there that like those things. So I have some of those right here, right in front of me here somewhere, and stuff like that. And I'm not doing any toys tonight, I don't think, unless somebody asks for something specific that I might have. But Scooter's channel, I believe. Oh, okay. I think I've seen you somewhere, Tammy. It looks vaguely familiar. That name, the Dream, aka Dream Tracer, it looks vaguely familiar. I think I've seen you somewhere. We watch a lot of other auctions, so and it's always, and I encourage my friends and family and others to check out the YouTube auctions. There's always great stuff there, and good for gift giving. I think I've bought many things that way. So I have a huge mix. I'm sitting in a room that's literally floor to ceiling with stuff from vinyl albums and comic books. And I know Vincent, I mentioned this, so the folks that are not new to me know this. I do have some clothing. I don't generally show much for clothing on the auctions. I've got a lot of dishware, collectible type stuff. I've got, as I said, mentioned before, toys, train stuff, fishing lures. I've got, I know I'm fading stuff, stuffed bears. I can see the box right here. That's what I'm saying, and other things like that. So if that's something you are doing, so yes. Oh, thanks. I hope you have a great sale. We'll see how it goes. I guess we can get started. Oh, I did come across some Fire King stuff. Anybody's interested in Fire King, I can bring that up tonight too. But I want to just kind of start with something simple, and because it always seems to. I think I've noticed that everybody's channel, when I watch them, everybody, if you watch them from the beginning, it often starts out kind of slow and then picks up as the evening goes on. So we'll start with something basic here, and see if we can turn it down. Here we go, and I'm going to switch cameras. I'm going to use my little table here, I think, to show stuff. I tried it showing it by holding it up last time, and it was awkward for me. So I'm going to go back to showing it on my table, and then we go from there. So, okay. So I have, let me move my camera over a little bit here. There. It's a brand new candle. I got the word out right. Brand new candle, English lavender. It is, there's the contain the contents and stuff like that, so you know what it is. Weights, it says 13 ounce, average burn time 35 hours, and it is glass. This is a glass container. It's one of those 3-wick type ones with the glass container with the little rubber seal on the edge. So even after the candle's gone, you've got a nice little glass container. So let's just call this lavender candle, and we'll start this at $5. I think that's fair. Like I said, I've got some interesting collectibles tonight as well. Not too much in the way of bracelets. I've got earrings, necklaces, some pins. I got a story about some of the pins that you're going to really find interesting. And I do have, I have some rings, I think. I'm just looking around to see what I have. But that is where we are tonight. Like I said, I have some Rae Dunn. We'll do that too. And some purses. Picked up some really interesting items this past week here too that I thought you might find interesting. Anybody ever heard of carpet balls? I've got those. I've got some decor, if you call it, as well as collectibles and stuff. And I think that is going to be where we are. So like I said, we're going to kicked off with the candle here and see if there's any interest in that. And I would package this, bubble wrap in it to make sure it survives the trip. I'm just looking to decide what to do next here. let's start with some earrings, I think. We'll do that first. And I'm just looking for my display so I can put on something so you can see it properly. Okay. All right. Now, no interest in the candle. I want to keep. I'm going to say the word calendar. We're going to pass on that, and we'll go to some earrings. And put that out of the way. Oh, and I got to show you some. I do have to show you. I have a lot. I have just posted a whole bunch of more new items on eBay, and some of them are pretty cool. So here's a pair of earrings. I think. Let me have a tell. It looks like it's a combination of glass and metal beads, I would say. Those could be hematite beads. I can't tell for sure. Maybe it was a magnet. Let me see if I can make my magnet test it work. Oops, that's not good for him. Let me just check a magnet real quick here. Also want to see if the earrings themselves are magnetic. And it's typical. The jump ring that's on there is magnetic, but the rest is not. So I thought maybe that would be. So let me give you a little close-up shot here. Well, these earrings, and then I'm going to put them back on the display here, so I can type in the hair. Let's see. We're going to call these. That is really a kind of a. It's not really green. It's not really yellow. Kind of in between. What color would be appropriate to call this? But I'm just going to call this a glass bead dangly earrings. I just got to give some kind of a description, so if somebody does type something later on, I know what they're talking about. And we'll start these at $5. See if there's any interest in those. And okay. And then we'll do some more. I've got some non-earring items. I typically switch around as we go, but I think what I'll do is I'll stick with the jewelry for a little while. And then we'll get to some purses and some of the Ray Dunn stuff. And if there's any interest in the Fire King stuff, I didn't put that up on the screen. I keep forgetting I should do that. So, and I'm just trying to get my display set up here. I came across some. I think it's some vintage jewelry as well tonight. So we'll see how it goes. I'll just have that. There it is. This next one, I'm going to measure it first before I put it out there. I think it's really short. Let me see my ruler right there. Yeah. Looks to be about, yeah. Okay. All right. No interest in those. We will pass on those. And go to show you some earrings. Necklace, Get that back. Okay. I'm going to bring the camera up. And a little more. There we go. And oh boy, if I zoom in, I know it's going to change my light here. So let me change this and zoom in. Oops, my camera's at an odd angle here. There. Okay. All right. So this is all wooden bead. So it is necklace. And we'll start this at $6. How's that? And so it's interesting. As you can see, it's kind of white and kind of an ivory color for the beads, and black. And this is this style of clasp on here. Okay, and I think this is vintage only from the way it's been constructed. The core string that's on it and the way it's fastened is more typical of something that was maybe done in the last 20 or 30 years ago. And this is about, I think I measured it, it's about 15-inch roughly. So it would ride up, it would be up fairly high. So on the neck. Excuse me. And let me get a drink of water here. I know I've been confusing people a little bit who watch me all the time, that this is a new start time. I'm kind of playing with different times. I think I am going to stick with Thursday because it seems like every week I have something going on Wednesday. And this week is going to be a particularly busy week anyway. Tomorrow night we go to a concert at University of Vermont where my granddaughter's playing with the concert band. And that'll be fun tomorrow night. And then on Sunday, she's playing with the woodwind band at University of Vermont, and Sunday afternoon. So we get that. And then there was something else going on Saturday. I can't recall exactly what now. But I know we've got pretty much something. Oh yeah, I was going to be was planning on maybe going on a trip to New Hampshire. That fell through, so we won't be doing that. But I still need to do some things related to that trip. So, but anyway, that's kind of where we are. And so there's the first. This is a necklace, I guess. They didn't show another necklace yet. So then we'll do a purse, or maybe this other item. I've got a couple of different ones that are interesting. So, and then I've got some interesting glass decor that I will show. So, okay, now interested in that up there. So we will pass on that, and hopefully we'll keep going here with something else. Let's see. I've got this handy, so I'm going to throw it. I have quite a few. I won't call them all purses because this isn't necessarily a purse. I got to really zoom back out on this one and bring the camera down. Oh, I'm back actually. And okay, so this is a really interesting piece. Oops, I'm showing the wrong side here. So it looks like it can be. I guess it can be both a handbag because it has a handle, but it also has straps here that are fixed on it. So it looks like it's intended to be a backpack, and I didn't realize that when I first saw it. And it's got this string tie thing on the top here. I don't know if that's something that can be. I guess you can draw that tight to close the bag here. See, so you can bring it tight or open it back up. And then the inside has a zippered pocket and that, and the zipper works fine. I just always like to demonstrate the zippers are okay. It's extremely clean. It's all cloth. I don't know if it's cotton. Let me see. The tag says this is a Americana by Sharif. I didn't see a tag mentioning what the material is. It has this other clasp here for that. And the back there's no exterior pockets. But it's a really pretty yellow and pale blue color. So Americana by Sharif. Tote. I want to call it a tote. It's kind of a backpack tote. We will start this at 10. Let's start this at $10. So, oops, the wrong typo. Hang on, let me take that off of there. Wrong. Hide that. Delete that comment. I might delete my own comment here. Terrible, isn't it? Happy old soul. Hey, thank you for being here. That's okay. I appreciate you stopping by and giving us a like if you can do that. It's quite all right. Also, I saw you at Beth's. Was it Monday or Tuesday? I forget which one, but yeah, I saw you there, and I think you were at you were also on one of ours last week as well. So, okay. So what did I say? This was Americana by Sharif. Tote / backpack. And we're going to start this at $10. I had a typo in there. My fat fingered it. So, but you see, it's I didn't see any stains or any kind of discoloration on this anywhere. It's really, really clean. No smell, nothing like that. We're a smoke-free home, so there wouldn't be anything introduced here. We are not a pet-free home, but we are a smoke-free home. But the cat, I don't usually. The cat may come in here, but she'll be at my feet. She will never climb on things. But you can see this. It's got the usual, sewn-in pockets on the inside, and it just doesn't look like it was ever used because I just didn't see any kind of dust. Or, how you get some kind of accumulation of dust at the bottom. So, but anyway. And like I said, it's just for those that are coming in, or if you're coming in later, it's got this fastener here, this little snap cut fastener for the top, for the front, and then the straps here for carrying it on your back if you wish. But you can also carry it. These are not removable, but it still has a handle on it, so you can use it with the handle. So. Okay, let me see what we're going to do next. We're thinking about that. Just trying to keep things organized, more or less. Yes, nice spring colors. That's true. Good point. Let me see here. Let's do our first pen. I guess a few pins. And like I said, I have a story about that, too. This next pin, when I tried to find out a little bit more about it, says it's vintage, so we'll see. And I'm trying to find a way to display it here. So give me a second while I look that up for a second while I try to find a way to display this pin. Maybe I'll just lay it on the table and we'll go from there. But okay. No, interested in that piece. I said that's the only. The rest I have are regular purses or totes, so tonight, but this is the one that is kind of more of a combination tote backpack, but very, very nice, and it's all cloth. So okay, let's go with that first pin. Like I said, let me bring the camera up close and down, and so it's a cameo in. Oops, I keep bumping my glove. There we go. Get rid of that off the screen. So this is a glass cameo surrounded by little rhinestone so I think it's vintage from what I could determine. Look at the brooch. We'll start this at. Boy. I did find one just like this out there for sale, and I know what they were asking. So I'm going to start it at $12. That is half what I saw this being advertised for. So just to give you an idea of what the value of it might be. So we get you up close here so you can see it better. And see the glass and the stones. The thing is not perfect. There's a little bit. The side here is a little bit wonked off, but you can't really tell when you're looking at it from the front. And you can see the pin sticks out a little bit, so there's a little bit of a stabby factor there. I did not see a name. Or is that a name on the top? No, I don't think it is. Did not see any kind of a name for it. And the ones I saw online were identical to this one. So, but I did not see that little dump. I thought that might be a label. Didn't notice that before. But it's really pretty. And all the stones are there. So I didn't test them. I assumed they were rhinestones. But very pretty. Looks like it's about 1.5 inches, I would guess. Yeah, about 1.5 inches. Almost 1 3/4 inches. So, no, it's glass, as far as I can tell. The ones I looked up, the ones I found just like it, all were calling it glass. You can actually look, and you look at the back, you can actually see where it's been etched from the back. And then you have the rhinestones around it. I assume rhinestones. But, so, and you can see it's faceted. If I get to hold it just right. You see the glass has been faceted. So it's not just a anyway, kind of like a nice piece. I got to tell you, as long as I have a few folks out there watching, we came across a pin today. This here is a Christian Dior. I won't tell you what I paid for, but it was a bargain. It's going to show up on eBay. They go for a lot of money, let's just say. So anyway, but yes, that is a very pretty brooch. But we did come across some nice pins today. I've got a few others, so we will intersperse those through the evening here. But not no interest in that one right now, but that's okay. I know brooches are now popular with kids putting on their backpacks and stuff. And I've noticed some women. Yeah, we scored all right. I guess you wouldn't believe that what that goes for. My pharmacy, one of the pharmacy technicians, she wears brooches every day, and she says she's seeing a lot of more women wearing them now than they used to. My wife even has commented on that. She does the same thing. So okay, let's do the first Rae Dunn. This is an interesting one. I've never seen this particular style of Rae Dunn before, and I've seen a fair amount of my Rae Dunn stuff. Here, let me get there we go. It's having difficulty focusing. Maybe let's see if I can get that to focus. Let me see if no, that didn't help. Did it? Well, it helped a little. Give it a little more light. So I usually, when you see the Rae Dunn, they have that very distinctive font that they use. And I have seen one others of these, but this is the first one I've seen that was like this. It has the teal interior, and you can see that is spotless. I don't think this was ever used because the bottom even is pretty clean. And it just says create, nothing on the other side. My camera's not going to want to focus again. Come on. Goodness gracious. There we go. Can't get the focus sometimes. So it just says create. So Rae Dunn create. We'll start this at $8. Oops, I forgot to get rid of this phone. Okay, there we go. There we go. And I should change that so it has my email on there all the time. I'll just change one setting here real quick. No, I guess I won't. All right. So there it is, Rae Dunn for $8, starting bid. If there's any interest, it says create. I think, as I say, it's just really interesting. This teal color, and even the lettering is even in teal. Bring it up a little closer here so you can see it better. It says create. Okay, what is next? Let's see. I have other Ray Dunn stuff as well. If anybody out there who's big on the Ray Dunn, I have a Ray Dunn tea kettle with matching pitcher and sugar. So, anybody's interested. Okay, no interest in the Ray Dunn mug. We'll pass on that. And put that over there. How about another necklace? I've got this really interesting piece. Let me see if I bring the camera up again. And I can shut this off. I gotta have to shut this light off because when I have this weird problem where when I zoom with my camera, it does some weird things to my light. My light has a remote control as well. So we'll show this pendant up close here in a minute. Let me put the light back on. You can see it. So this pendant has got a kind of an, I think it's like an amethyst center with rhinestones around it, gold tone on a gold tone chain. So I'm just going to call this the heart pendant because I don't think I have any others tonight. And we'll start this one at $8, I think. Oops. We'll show it up close here. I'll put it on my hand. It is an 18-inch gold tone chain it's on with the usual lobster claw clasp. And there we go, dropping things. Pardon me. Let's try that again. Okay. So there's I'm going to just show you the pendant without the chain. It's easier because the chain just gets in the way when I'm trying to hold it. You can see it's got that little, looks like a pale amethyst in the center, surrounded by small rhinestones and a gold tone heart. There's the back. There was no writing on it. I tried to see if there's any kind of marks or anything like that. There's no marks on it. So I'm just going to play it down like that and bring the camera down so you can see it better. I say it comes with a gold tone chain. I think this light's overwhelming my camera sometimes. We can get better there. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see what is going to be next. We haven't done too much for earrings tonight, so let's do another one. Second. Oh, it's not going to stay. All right, let me just set this up here on the display because it's not going to stay the way I want it to. And hope everybody's doing well tonight. It was a beautiful day here in Vermont. It was hit 60s and lower 60s and sunny. Now we're in for some rainy weather for the next couple days. All right, no one interested in that. Sorry, I'm dropping things. All right, pass on that. And we'll try with some earrings. These is gold tone dangly with a little, looks like I think that's supposed to be like a dove on there. These are post earrings. So you can see, and they are little red crystals in the star, and then dangly part there. So we will call these the, I think I may have shown these last week. I don't remember. They were sitting here, so I wasn't sure. Earrings. We'll start these at $5. Any interest? I think these are made by these brand name, I believe. Yeah, this is with the Pilgrim Danish design earrings, and hanging down here because they're catching on my display here. Yeah. Now I got it too close. There we go. So I'm going to call them that for lack of. I'm not very descriptive sometimes when it comes to describing jewelry. It's just, I know the colors sort of. And the red is actually more of a really dark red, not quite a burgundy. But anyway, you know, you can see it in the picture. Okay, I'll have that up there, and what I'm going to show you next. Like I said, I have some Fire King if anybody's interested in Fire King. And I have to check my notes here on that Fire King, but yeah. Oh, I see Tina Old Pages at 5. Thank you, Tina. And we will. I usually do a countdown, but unless somebody jumps in within the next 5 or 10 seconds, I'm just going to say sold. I'm kind of used to do the going once, going twice, and last call thing, but it never seemed to matter in the past. And when I was working with Beth, I kind of learned that, maybe I don't need to do that anymore. So we're just going to say sold to Tina for $5. And I like to put it in the chat because that way I have a record of it. And I also need to write it down. Thank you, Tina. And I think I have your information already. Tina Old Pages. In case there's more than one Tina out there, and I know there is. Thank you. And let's get that off of there. And let me put those in the bag and put your name on them. And after I show the next item. Oh, yes, we definitely can do this one. So this is an interesting piece. I'm going to have to talk about this one a lot, explain something about it. Zoom out a little bit and back. There we go. And it's obviously a piece, and I forget. This is a very specific artist that makes these, and I'm trying to remember his name. So give me a second until I write this down for Tina, and then I will tell you who it is. Okay. Oh, shoot! I meant to mention in the beginning. I mentioned it in my preview video as well, but my printer ran out of ink, and I ordered the ink, and they sent me the wrong one. So the new ink cartridges that are correct are coming tomorrow. This is Amazon, of course, and I will be able to. I didn't even try to send out even invoices because I didn't want. I do owe a couple folks an invoice, so. But even the ones that have paid, I couldn't ship because I can't print the shipping labels. So as I mentioned, I use Pirate Ship. So, okay. So now what do I do with it? Now, I'll try and tell you who this guy is. If I give me a second, look it up here. So there's a specific person that makes these, and I can't recall his name. And I'm just trying to look it up in my. I thought I had it written down somewhere. Huh, I guess not. It is not signed. But I'm going to point out, if you haven't already noticed, it's got the crackle glass kind of finish. So it's going to crackle glass pumpkin. And if this wasn't in the condition, and I'm going to explain what I mean by condition, it would be something I'd probably put out there on eBay. But I thought maybe somebody would be more forgiving and be interested in this because it is really, really pretty. But let me use something besides my finger here. See how when my wife first saw this, she thought, "Oh, there's just a leaf on the pumpkin." No, actually, this is supposed to be a piece of. This is supposed to be the continuation of that stem, but there's no sharp edges. It's clean. It's really amazing. I think what happened was somebody bumped it, and that piece just wasn't blown really well. And so, if this was out there in the real world with it intact, without that little piece missing, it goes for $40 to $50, maybe even more dollars. I'm going to start this at $15 because I think it's still a worthwhile piece. It doesn't look like there's something wrong with it unless you start looking at it more closely. So I still think people would like it, and it is really pretty. And it is blown glass. But I'll give you a close-up look. You can see what I mean. You can see it looks like, oh, this looks like it's just a leaf off the stem. And then you realize, no, that's the part of the stem. So it is still pretty. And we thought somebody still might be interested, even though it has that piece missing. It really doesn't seriously detract from it. And the crackle glass is kind of cool. So anyway, I thought I'd put it out there, see if anybody's interested. If not, it doesn't, not killing me. It's just that, and we don't have fortunate we didn't spend a lot of money on it. So I'm going to be okay. So but we'll probably just put it in the yard sale. Nobody buys it tonight, but there it is. It's kind of pretty, I think. Still, and the colors, like I say, are kind of cool, greenish, and the way they did it with the crackle and everything. So, but I want to be up front and make sure you understand this is not perfect. There is a problem. I actually have a pretty good sized collection of paperweights, glass paperweights, and I don't think I got one other one for tonight, but I'll show some more in the future if there's any interest. So. Okay, so while that is up there and people are looking at it, what do I see? What am I doing next? Let's do this necklace. Look at this board out here, my display board, and ready to display this. I have a couple of named brand type necklaces. This next one is not, but okay, no interest in the glass pumpkin, blown glass. Actually, it's blown glass. So, all right, we're going to pass. That's okay. We'll take that off the screen. And we'll do another necklace. This is kind of an iridescent, I want to call it navy blue. Bring the camera back up. And I can zoom in a little bit just to show you the beads. They're kind of an iridescent navy blue. As you can see, it's a multi-strand. And I'll give you a length here in a minute. Let's see if I can spell the word iridescent. I'm pretty good at spelling usually. I think we'll start this one at I want to say $8. Okay. It does have an extender chain, which it was in part already using when I had it up there. So without the extender, I am going to say, what did I do with my robot? There it is. Well, it looks like it is 18-inch without the extension. And then you add another inch or two on that with the extension, and you can wear it however you wish. Now I'll bring it up closer so you can see the beads better. I know I zoomed in, but they're kind of an iridescent navy blue. And I know that, let me see if this light will help. A little bit. And okay. Let's see here. What's next? Well, I did come across some Japanese pottery that was really interesting the other day, and I have that, and I'll just put that out on eBay. If anybody's interested in that kind of thing. Now, let's do the other Ray Dunn piece after this. Oh no, I've got a couple of Ray Dunn pieces tonight. So okay. And let me see what else we want to show here. Like I said, I've got some more pins. I've got lots of earrings. I've got lots of necklaces and purses. We'll do some more purses here as we go. Okay. No interest in that. Okay. Set that aside. And like I said, I've got some more Ray Dunn. Let's bring the camera down. A couple of soup bowls, Ray Dunn. They're not new, but they're pretty clean. I didn't see any significant scarring or anything like that on them. Like with a spoon. Usually a stainless steel spoon will leave some traces in the bottom. There's the Ray Dunn. I'm going to sell the pair. The pair of Ray Dunn. Well, let's start this at. I got to start this at 18 for both of them. There's any interest. I've seen them go. I know what they're going for out there on the real world, so it's less than I'm asking less than everybody else. But just so you know, trying to be reasonable with what we have. Let me put that up on the screen. Again, nobody interested tonight. Obviously, they'll end up on eBay or someplace like that. And let me grab another sip of water. Like I said, I was doing stuff last week with my face being on screen. I can't. I just couldn't show some of this stuff without decent lighting, and my hands aren't steady anymore at my age. So there they are. And we'll figure out what we're going to show next here. Let's do a bracelet. Hey, R&R. So nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Okay, no interest in the Ray Dunn. I know some folks are really big on Ray Dunn, and I always try to make sure I have at least a couple of items that people might be interested in, and I've got a fair amount of it. So, all right. Where is it? Oh, yeah, bracelet. So I've got this turquoise with malachite bracelet, and I'll put it's really tiny, so I can't display it on my wrist, so I'm going to put it here. But turquoise and malachite bracelet. We'll start this at $8 as well. I think that's what I was doing for some of the others. So, like I said, it doesn't stretch a whole lot. It does stretch a little, but not enough to. And it's really, I mean, you can see it's well, that's getting really wiped out. There's too much light. There we go. So the little silver tone beads in between is an accent as well, and the malachite. And you see, if I put it across my hand, how it looks. I think the diameter on that's going to be pretty small. I don't have a way of telling you what the overall length is, but that's in centimeters. That's not going to do good. So if I measure, it's like 2 inches, it looks like, roughly from green bead to green bead. And if you go with a larger one, but that's not really fair to do that because it's really, when you're wearing it, it's really on its side like that. So it's more like that. So that's probably 2 inch. Let's say 2 inch. Yeah, about 2 inch across. So it's a smallish. I think most of them tend to run around 2.5 inch. Let me see here. 2 inch. Let me see here. 2 inch diameter comes out to, I can't do the math in my head, so comes out to, and again, it's not stretching it, about 6.25 inches. So that gives you any kind of an idea of what the size is. Get that off the screen. Okay. All right. Let's see. What are we going to do next? Oh, let's do these earrings next. Like I said, I have a lot more jewelry than other stuff tonight, so it's going to be a mixed bag about what I show you. Huh. All right. No interest in those. We will pass on those. On that, I mean, those. And we'll bring up some adventurine with gold tone beads and gold tone. I think the shepherd's hooks are actually gold plated, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think they are. This is the source I got what they came from. This is something we put together a while back, and as I may have mentioned, or I don't know if I mentioned at the beginning, but my wife used to have a jewelry business, so some stuff we have comes from that. And these are shepherd hook earrings, little keepers on the back. And so those are adventurine and little gold tone beads. I'm just going to call these the adventurine earrings. And I didn't spell it right. No, I wouldn't. I always add an extra character. It doesn't need to be there. It's not advent earrings. We'll start these at $8. They are real adventurine. And the interesting thing about these is the way they, let me take it off the card here, take the keeper off and show it up against my hand here. Well, now it's sticking on my display. Here we go. Okay. So the interesting thing about these is that it's free floating, so it doesn't have a fixed axis. It's on a little gold tone thing that can spin, and then the little gold tone beads at the base. So that's the way it is. It does spin around. So just so you see the difference. And I didn't put it up on the screen, but it's what it is. And put the keeper back on just before I lose it on the floor and never find it again. Or the cat comes along and eats it. She's not that stupid. Anyway. Okay, so there's the aventurine earrings. Let's see here. You know what? I think I will do another purse. So this one is, I've got a Vera Wang. Right. Simply Vera, I guess is what it's called. All right, we'll pass on this. And put those away. And set up this purse here so you can see it. Bring it out that bit. You have to bring the camera back a bit. Even zooming out, it's not going to do me any good here. Okay. So this is a Simply Vera. I want to call it a bag, I guess, or a tote. I don't know if it's considered technically. No, it's not a tote. No, we'll just call it a bag. We'll start this one at $12. Some interest. It kind of, I think the color on my screen looks a little brighter than what it really is. It's kind of a peachy pink is the way I kind of describe it. And so it has these nice wide straps, really wide straps. Carry it by. The interior is a gray. It has there's the Vera, Simply Vera Wang thing in there. Zipper works fine. There. 3 pouches is pretty typical of these things. They have 2 or 3 pouches on the inside. And there's 2 compartments with a little magnetic seal in that one. And 3rd compartment in the front. Also magnetic seal. And then another little thing in the front where you can put your cell phone. This thing's really clean. Really, really clean. There's the bottom, just so you can see the condition. If there's any interest in the Vera Wang, or Simply Vera. Well, it has a zipper on the top too, so you can close the main portion of it. I didn't fill it with anything. I probably should, when you put stuff in the purse, it kind of fills it out nicely, but it is in excellent condition. If there's any interest in the Vera Wang, Simply Vera, sorry. My throat's getting dry tonight. Anyway, having my wife in the jewelry business for years, I've learned a lot. Some of it's rubbed off on me, and some of it I've gotten kind of fuzzy over the years about it. So that happens. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to set up the next one here. could be an interesting one to display. No interest in the Simply Vera bag, so we will pass on that and go on to something else. How about this name? The brand name on this is Premier Design. It took me a while to figure it out because they don't say Premier Design. They just on the tag it's just an emblem. But this is another iridescent necklace that is over 60 inches long in total length. I've got it doubled up right now, and you can see that it's even on display. It's another iridescent necklace. Almost miss typo on my part here. And we'll start this one at $8 as well. You guys see that number a lot tonight, I think. Oops, piece of paper stuck on it from something. So on the, I'm trying to find it here. There's the, you see that little symbol there? That's the Premier Designs symbol. And let me get this light on. You really can see that this is really, really iridescent. And the little faceted beads that I believe are just not lucite, but probably acrylic. But they're really, really shiny. They really do catch and reflect the light. It's kind of interesting. So I'm going to lay it flat here against the darker background. Give you an idea what it looks, how long this thing really is. Like I said, I doubled it up. So you could kind of see what you're up against here when you're going to use it. It really does hang down quite low. You see me holding it here, and it's going all the way down there and still not touching. I think one place I saw this similar thing, they said it was 68 inches. Tina, I see you're a bit at 8. Thank you. And let me grab my clipboard and pen. I'm going to mark that as sold. Oops, I did this. I do this to myself all the time. Start typing when I'm not in the right place. And we'll say sold to Tina for $8. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Let me bag that up. Find a bag big enough. Just had my hands on it. What did I do with it? All right, we'll put it over here with the other piece. All right, thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right. Okay. Like I said, I have some really interesting Fire King. I think I'll show that. Just thought I'd see anybody's interested. These are white Fire King, milk glass, I guess you'll call it. Back up a little bit here and bring the camera down. So there's 4 of them. And to show that they say Fire King on the bottom. Let me get that. You can't see it. I'm in here. There we go. Anybody out there big on Fire King? These are made by Anchor Hawking, made in the United States. These are in great shape. Maybe a little sticker residue in here, but that's about it. I did wash them quickly, but just to make sure. I'm looking up what I see here. Right, I want to get for these. I got to. Boy, oh boy. I know what to go for. I did research these, so I'm trying to be fair here. Let's see, Fire King set of 4 soup. We'll start this at let's say $20 for all 4. Is any interest? So they're all in really good condition. There's a little dirt on there. It's a static cling. I mean, they were all in no chips, scratches, dents, or anything like that. They were, it just didn't look like they've been used at all, hardly at all. If you know anything about Fire King, they have, I think, what looks like some normal wear on the bottom, but no damage anywhere. No chips, no dents, no scratches, or anything like that. So they're not new. Fire King's been around forever, and these are vintage, definitely vintage. But I do know there are people out there who love Fire King, and when I came across these, I thought I'll put them up there and see maybe if there's anybody on this group that's into Fire King. If not a problem. We'll put it up there. That gives me a minute to look up the next item. Oh, we haven't done a pin for a while. Let's do a pin. Let's do this one next. Okay, I'm not going to sit on these too long. I don't know what the lag is tonight. I usually check it, but I haven't had a chance. I'm assuming it's usually between 7 and 10 seconds. Typical. I haven't had any problems with my internet. I'm hardwired into a computer, not even a laptop. So no issues generally with on my end, unless Comcast or Xfinity, is having issues. We'll pass on that, and that's okay. Set those so much safer here. Out of the way. Okay, bring my camera back up close. This is a pin that is marked Angel. It looks like it's pewter, and the Angel has got a little star there, and it has a crystal in the center of it. And this is made, you can see it's JJ. This is Jonette Jewelry, if you're not familiar with it. Oops. Hang on, I didn't type in the pass for the previous item. I'm used to that. And we'll start this one at $12. Like I say, there's no other markings on the back other than that. You see the type of pin it is. There's the JJ and the copyright next to it. The little crystal or whatever that is there they have there in the center of the star. I did not test it. I don't think it is magnetic, so I would say this if it's more likely to be pewter than silver plated. But, okay. And what we can do next? Okay. Fun stuff. Trying to get my display to work here, and it's not cooperating for the next item. use it then. Okay, no interest in the angel pin. I know for a while angels were a hot item, and this is a really nice pin. Nice detail in it. Okay. We'll pass on that. And do some earrings, which I just got my hands on. And these are little tiny white beads in a circle on a shepherd's hook. And I'm just going to call these the round white bead. I'm going to call this a white bead earrings. We'll start these at $4. If there's any interest. While you're thinking about that, I will peruse what I'm going to do next. That. Just trying to clear my space here that I'm working from. Oops, let's put that on screen. All right. Oh, we'll do this. Okay. There we go. Now I'm ready. Just making some space here. Like I said, boy, it's been a busy week. Concert tomorrow night and Sunday afternoon. Get my printer back online so I can start printing out shipping labels and all the like. Got to send some stuff down to Florida for family. We're up here in Vermont, so it's interesting how things are. Interesting how this winter's been comparing ourselves down to Florida. They've actually had pretty cold down there. Not as cold as us, but cold enough. Okay, well, let's see if there's any interest in this really beautiful paperweight. I'm gonna have to back up the camera again. Let's stop this. Why every evening my stupid smart scan kicks in? I'm not supposed to do that in the evening. Okay. Typos. Goodness gracious. We're going to start this one at $20. So this is quite tall. Let's see. It looks like it's about 5 inches, just a hair over 5 inches tall. Lots of color in it, and you can see the controlled bubbles in there. I hope, as I'm showing it to you. So it's got the swirl pattern to it, the blown glass. There's the bottom. Let's see where it was. And I'm not sure what the intent was, what it was supposed to look like. Maybe it was supposed to be an underwater type of thing, but there it is. Let's see, quite tall. At one point, I used to have a display I could put underneath it that would light it up from the bottom, but it's not working. This last time I tried it, it wasn't. I can see if it works now, but I don't. I've got one that does work. It's multicolored, which is kind of cool. But I don't think that one's working either. One of those party light type things that you has the lights underneath and stuff. It's really cool. But nope, not working. But anyway, there's that paperweight. If anybody's interested in that. Like I say, you can really see the control bubbles in there. I think pretty well when I'm spinning it around here. I didn't realize how much work there is to get those bubbles in there on purpose. So it does really have some interesting color to it, and it's pretty hefty. I think this, I forget what it weighs, but I say paperweight. It's pretty significant weight. Let me see if I can. Yeah, it weighs over 2 pounds. So yeah, it's pretty heavy. Okay. Well, we'll take that off then. And put some jewelry. What do we do next? Let's see here. Somewhere's I had. Oh, this is an older one. This is an older, another wood bead. Well, combination of wooden bead and silver, I think. So let me zoom in on that guy. Kill this light because it's. So I have to have this really one weird light that I use that. But there we go. That shows it pretty well. And we can turn this light back on now. And you can see the colors pretty well actually on this. And it does have a little silver tone thing there and some silver tone accents in between. So I'm going to call this a multi-color wood bead necklace. And we'll start this one at $7 as the interest. I'm going to say it's probably 16-inch. Let me double check. Yep, 16-inch. And the type of clasp is a hook and eye. Again, this is older style, I think, as far as the style of clasp and even the way it's constructed. I'm not going to say it's old, but I'm going to say it's older. I wouldn't say it's new, not the way you typically see them made today. I'll say that it's older. Okay. Like I say, I hope everybody's doing okay. My plan right now is probably going to go to at least 9:30, and maybe a little later if there's any interest. So we will see how it goes tonight. I'm not into the marathon stuff like I used to be. I used to go hours and hours when I was, especially when I was doing it with other people, because then you had a bit of a break. When you do it by yourself, after 2 or 3 hours, I don't know how Beth does it. To be honest, she goes crazy, but she does have. Usually, she doesn't do it alone, so it does give you a bit of a break. I do recommend her if you haven't been on her channel, Grand Old Things Beth. She's always got some fantastic jewelry. And there are others out there that I follow all the time as well, from different places out there. Hey, Kelly. Thank you. You're in at 7. All righty. Nice to see you. All righty. Like I said, Kelly, I've been changing ever since the last couple of weeks with working with Beth. I no longer bother with doing the countdown. If somebody else is going to bid, they're going to bid right after you bid or after the person bids, and then we'll go from there. But if there's no bids after 5 or 6 or 10 seconds, because I got a lot enough time for lag, we're just going to say sold to Kelly for. Oops, I did it again. I'm not typing in the right place. Okay, fix that. Let's try that again. I'm not typing in the comment field. To Kelly for $7. Thank you. Write that down. righty. And bag that up, mark it. Okay. Oh, let's do one more Ray done for tonight, just to say we did it. And on there, oops, what did I hit? Oh, I see what I did myself here. And zoom out. Whoops, I know I can do that to myself. There we go. And get rid of this message. Do I have any tin sign? I do. I will show you one. I have to be careful, but anyway, let's do the Ray done here first, and then. Oops, I did it again. Typing in the wrong place again. Okay, this is a Ray done mug that says "Sip Sip Hooray." Obviously, this is probably intended for possibly New Year's or some celebratory thing. When you're trying to, instead of hip hip hooray, but it's black inside and out. Fix my light here so I can. No, it's not gonna work. Hang on, I'm just fixing my light. It was all messed up. Oh, good grief! That's the one, right? Some of these days I'm going to fix the remote for this thing. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So this is, you see it's pretty clean underneath. So I think that, I don't know if this is ever used. I was trying to get the reason I was trying to fix my light so you can see the interior. You can see the interior looks really, really clean. I did not wash this. Other than there's a little bit of sticker residue in one spot, but that was pretty much it. Typical Ray done. You see a little bit of sticker residue right there. Missed that. I missed seeing it. I didn't see that. The light hits it really. She really brings that out, doesn't it? A little bit of sticker residue there. I'll take care of that. But I see Kelly at 8 for that. And seeing no other interest, we will say that we have to give. Excuse me. Let me grab a sip of water first. Okay. Sold to Kelly for $8. Thank you, Kelly. Let me write that down and put something up while we're waiting. While you're waiting for me. Oh, let's see. Oh, look at this necklace. I'm trying to see if I got any other. I had a couple of necklaces that had brand name, but I probably had those handy, but I guess not. So we'll put this necklace up for you to look at while I'm writing my stuff down. And shut this off for a second. And off for a second. And zoom in. Yeah. I didn't get that even, did I? There we go. Okay. Okay, I'm writing it down while you guys are looking at that. Yeah, okay. Okay. I guess I'm trying to think what color. We'll consider that color. Let's see. It's kind of a yellowish amber and a darker amber color. Amber-like. I'm going to call it amber-like. How's that? Like color necklace. And we'll start this at $7. And I think it's about, well, it does have an, I think it has an extender. It does have a Here's the clasp. And so it was fully extended when I had it on this. So I would say that looks like it's about, let me get it down here. See, I'm going to say it is 16, even fully extended. So I'm going to call it that. All right. And I see Kelly at 7. Mm-hmm. I didn't see a name on that. There's no tag on it or anything like that. It's just we're going to say sold to Kelly for $7. Thank you, thank you. I'll write that down. Okay. And yeah, set that aside. Okay. Oh, I got another bag. Let's do another purse, then we'll get to your sign. I got a 9 West bag here. And it's a, I guess you call it a crossbody. Let me get the camera down and get that off the screen. There we go. We'll start this at $10. So there's the long, crossbody strap here. Black. I didn't see anywhere. It is adjustable, the strap. It's just a tensioning type adjuster. It doesn't have like little notches in it like some of them. It's interesting because this is you open it like this, and then the top, you got the zippered portion, and then inside, and you can see the 9 West logo there. And there are a couple of like pouch, a little, the typical 2 pockets on the inside here, and a zippered. I'll show you the zipper works. If I can get my hand in there, there we go. So the zipper's shut, no problem. The top zipper works, no problem. The interesting, if you, it folds. I guess that was a deliberate design to have that fold down and catch like that, but it does say 9 West, and there it is. It's not a big bag. Okay, just had my ruler I was using a second ago. Well, we'll do the tape measure. Looks like it's about 10 inches across and folded like this, about 7 inches high. If there's any interest in that. It is like a black and a tan. I would call that tan. And that's the front. The back is just all black. Very, very clean. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I went through and looked at all the seams and things like that. Didn't see any noticeable wear. It's in really good shape. Okay. Leave that up there for a second while I decide what to show next. And then we're going to get to that sign as well. I actually have a couple, I think, here. I got one more purse besides that one tonight. So. And this next one is, okay, no interest in the 9 West bag. No problem. We will pass on that. Because I have to give enough time to. Okay, let's do some more jewelry. It's a necklace. I'm going to bring the camera up again. I have to bring it up anyway. And this is a one made by Pilgrim. Zoom in. Let me kill this. I got to kill my light to keep the zoom in. And it's not. This is not extended. This is well, actually, I have it. It actually goes for there we go. So I think it's like 16 and then 18 with the extender. It is not fully extended. So I don't know how to describe this one. It's got a little amber-like stones or colored stones there. I would call it more. So this is a Pilgrim. They call them Danish design, Pilgrim. Rectangle. Necklace. And we'll start this one at $7. There's any interest. And let me show you it's a gold tone chain, lobster claw, and quite a long extender. Oops, let me back up on too close. And there's the Pilgrim Danish design logo on it. I see Kelly at 7. And let me grab my pad. Not seeing anybody else. We will say sold to Kelly for 7. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Write it down. Okay. So one of the signs I have, I just found it today actually. I was looking for something else and I said, oh, I didn't know this was back there. It was something we had intended to use when we had a property in Maine. Never did get around to it. We ended up selling the property. So, and you're going to see why. I say, I'm sorry if your name is John, don't take offense. But there it is. Oh, you liked it? Oh, I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked it. We'll start this one. I think I was doing like $7 for these, a starting bid. So this is I forget where this came from. It came from a local store, Christmas tree shop or something like that. So I see Kelly at 7. And just wait a minute because to see if there's anybody else is interested. But write down that it's sold, one way or the other. But all I got to do is put a name next to it. But yeah, these are nice metal signs. They're well made, and they already have the holes in the corners, so you don't have to drill any holes in them to mount them or whatever. But I guess you could use it wherever you wanted. And if you know somebody with that first name, certainly can give them a lot of grief. So, okay. Let me set this aside over here. So I'm afraid of dropping things here so much time. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, that's cute. Oh man, I don't know where I would put a sign like that. Sold to Kelly for $7. Thank you, Kelly. Okay, let me set that aside. All right. So we haven't done what for a while. Oh, I don't know if anybody out there, and I'm not sure how many people are watching. I have a pin from Sarah Coventry. Bring my camera a little closer here and down. And we'll set it up here. That's a Sarah Coventry pin of the letter D. I think this is too much light, so let me kill that. Actually, one of the problems I've been running into, sometimes the camera overcompensates for the bright lights in here. And so I need to, here we go, see if that helps a little bit. We'll start this one at $10. Is there any interest? Know anybody with the letter D that would be interested? I put it on my hand like that because I think it shows better. And it is Sarah Coventry. And there's the name right there. Oh, upside down. And the pin doesn't have any stabby factor, so that's a good thing. But yeah, it does look better when it gets my hand than it does when it gets that dark. So it's a like a branch with leaves formed into a D. Okay. And let's see what we can do next. This one, I think we'll do this one. Okay, no interest in that. An official Fallout shelter sign. Oh wow, that's cool. That is cool. Yeah, I think the ones I have still here, I think you may have already seen. I'm not sure. I'll put them up anyway. But oh yeah, I mean maybe not. Maybe not. But okay, we'll pass on this. I know this is kind of hit or miss with a D. I mean, so how many people start first or last name starts with a D? So okay, here's another pilgrim necklace. It's these are brown, let's say acrylic beads with gold, gold loops every so often. This is another really long one that I folded in half. Is there a clasp on this? I don't see a clasp anywhere on this. Oh, I didn't notice that before. So it's just and so what I did is I've just doubled it up. And I can't remember what I was asking for the pumpkin. Sure, I would consider an offer. Yeah. All right, let's. No. It's fine, Kelly. No. Make me an offer, and I think I was asking. I want to say 15. I know they go for like 4. If that was in mint condition, it wasn't like that. It's 40 or yeah. I was asking 15. I know they go for like 45, 50 in that range. So for that blown glass, so that's why I was trying to, because it was. But again, and unfortunately, it's not a damage that's not going to be, too distracting. I guess that's the way to put it. So I would take 10. Yeah. So, okay. All right. So pilgrim. Long necklace with gold tone trim. We'll start this at. I think I've been doing 7 for these, right? So we'll do 7 for that. Yeah, okay. I'm going to put that down in the chat right now. Sold to Kelly. Blown glass pumpkin for $10. Sure, let me write it down so I don't forget. Thank you. Okay, so there's that necklace. Like I said, quite long. Let me see if I get my tape measure here. Give you an idea of total length. So it's doubled up, and doubled up it is. Looks like almost 11 inches, and so times 4, so that's a 40-inch length all total, roughly. Pretty long. So again, it's worn. I would assume worn it that way. You wouldn't wear it the full length, and there was no clasp on it. So I hadn't either. It's a brand I'm not familiar with either, but usually there's a name on. Oh yeah, here's the name. There's the tag. Danish design. It says Pilgrim on the other side. So anyway, okay. No, they're. Let me show it up close. See if we can get it to focus here. They're just acrylic. I think they're just acrylic. They don't feel cold. No, they're not cold. I think they're just acrylic beads. 7, okay. And we'll say sold Kelly for $7. Thank you. Right down. Gotcha. Put that with your other stuff. Right there. So I think I showed these before. And I don't mean recently. Probably sometime. Well, actually, it wasn't that long ago I showed these, I think. It was maybe a week or two ago. Were you on when I showed these signs? Back up the camera a bit here and so make sure I'm zoomed out. So that was one of them that I have. And then the other one is a Coca-Cola one. I've got a Coca-Cola one, which I would ask a little more for, I think, because they're more desirable. And then, okay. For that one, it's pretty sizable, by the way. I should give you the dimensions here. I think it's like 16 by 20. I know, 16 by 12. 16 by 12. Yeah, 16, almost 13. For that one, let's do that one first. And we'll get to the others later. Bakery sign. I think it was asking 7 for these in the past. So and I think we'll do the same for this one. If there's any interest. That says Bakery SP Shank Company. Yeah. Bring my camera up a little bit. There. And then it's got the SP Shank Son and Company down in the corner here. And it's a repro, of course. You know, it's not original. None of these are original that I have. They just there. I hope that takes care of it. I think that should show it without the glare. But, and then over here it says established 1835, incorporated 1902. Down on the bottom. Yeah, with a All right. Anyway, okay. We're going to pass on that. And that was That was the, oh, I didn't put it up on the screen, but that's, you know what I mean. Okay. All right. Joy. What have we not done lately? Oh, do I have another pin? No, I got some earrings. So let's do earrings. Bring the camera back up here close. Sorry. Bring these down. And that's got some glare on it. I'm going to see if I can find a better position for these. There. Let me tilt these so they don't glare. There. These are post earrings. I'm going to call these swirl post earrings. We'll start these at $6, I guess. They're kind of cool, I think. So they are still, they're a post on the back, and a gold tone edge. You can see the gold tone there, and you can bring them up closer so you can get a better look at my hands. Really, so they're obviously, I think I would say they're not exactly the same. I'm trying to maybe position it so that the color pattern is sort of the same. Yeah, theirs are definitely not the same, but they are the same kind of look. And they're a post with that kind of a larger little plastic thing on the post. I think it shows better with my hands than against the board. Oh, actually, if it was on a display thing, it'd be upside down like that, but that's okay. You know what I mean. Okay. What do we do next? Oh, one more purse. I think we'll do that. More a tote, actually. This is more of a tote than a purse. I'm trying to see material here. Okay, no, interesting. The earrings. We will pass on that. And let's do this really big tote. And interestingly enough, it looks like somebody tried to sell this on Stitch Fix. So I gotta back up. This thing's really big. Another thing, just my inventory tag. This is made by, what was it again? Market and Spruce. And I'm going to write that down. Market and Spruce. I'll call this a tote because of the size. I'm going to start this one at 15. All right. See, I actually saw this one out, or a similar one to this, same manufacturer and everything out there. I left the original Stitch Fix tag on it because apparently whoever owned this was trying to sell it and then they decided not to. So I just left it there. Didn't want to take it off. But it's polyurethane. It's not, it looks leather, but it isn't. And so this got the zippered pocket here on this side. It works fine. And it's got this interesting interior color. And in the interior, there's another big pocket here. And then there's the Market and Spruce tag, and another zippered pocket here. I'll close this one on the outside here, and then it has a zipper on the top. There's a nice big pull, easy to find, and say the big pocket on the inside. Really good sized tote. Really clean. In excellent shape, I think. Kind of you can see the bluish color. good size for, as my wife likes to carry her survival purse, carry everything in it you could possibly want, and then some. So there it is. Let me grab another sip of water here while we have that up. I keep forgetting I have some really nice artwork too that I need to show sometime. And I've got some really interesting ephemera. One piece I'll try and show tonight. I'll have to switch cameras to do it because it's so big. But okay, no interest in the tote. So we'll pass on that. And let's see here. No, not a pair of earrings. Let's do some earrings. So these are. I'm going to take them off the card they're on because they really doesn't really show them in a good light, I think. I'll bring the camera close and down. There are bead earrings, hand beaded, probably, I would guess. And they're blue and black, or maybe a really dark blue. I'm going to take a better look here in a minute. Let me zoom in a little bit and give you some better light. So they are the type of earring they are is that kind of a clasp, so the little hook and latch, little latch thing. You can see it's black, blue, green, and then they kind of hang. Bring the camera up and show you how they hang, so you kind of get a feeling for how they look when they're being used. Okay. Let's call these beaded earrings. We'll start these at $6. Is any interest? Yeah, really, I've always had difficulty displaying these types of earrings. I have a display that sort of works with them. I used it last time, and it sort of works with them. But, anyway. All right. Maybe we'll show these next. So no, let's do another necklace. So let's see here. Okay. A second here. Trying to untangle something. And oh my. We're getting down to 9:30 here. We'll see how it goes. We'll keep going for a little bit longer, I think. No. Okay. That's what I thought it was. All right, no interest in the earrings. We'll pass. So I had to look up a stone. I couldn't remember what it was. And so I have this necklace I'm going to show you on a gold tone chain. And the chain is 18-inch, so nothing particularly, you can see the fineness. So this is I think this is, I'm not 100% sure, but I think what they call this is a Montana agate on gold tone. And we'll start this at $7 as well. And I think it's a 18-inch chain, pretty sure. There's no extender on that. It's the regular this style clasp, not an alligator clasp. So you know, it's a very small, delicate little chain, not a heavy by any means. The stone itself, we'll show it up close here, both sides of it. Gold veil, there's one side, and there's the other. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm making sure I didn't forget any of the items that Canon's showing. I didn't do a really good preview. I apologize for that. I usually try to show some of the things in the preview that I'm going to show. Didn't get around to doing that. So, okay. I got to measure something else here while I'm get that up. Oh, I see Kelly at 7. Sorry, Kelly. I'm looking down instead of looking up. So we will say sold to Kelly for $7. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll write that down. Okay. Let's do a bracelet. Get this cute little bracelet with the tree of life on it. And I measured it about 2 1/4. I think these are, I think, are wooden. Yeah, those are wooden beads. They're a little darker than what it shows in my camera, but oops, let me get that off the screen. And then you have this piece, which I did not see any markings on. I don't think there is, no. Just double checking here. And then you have a little blue accent bead. And these silver accent. And then this looks like another accent bead there. It does stretch a little. So, I'm just going to call this a tree necklace. We'll start this at $5. Is any interest? Get this other necklace set up. Okay. Got a few more necklaces and earrings to show. I don't know if I showed this ring last week. It's sitting here on the shelf, and I wasn't sure. Or for the matter of fact, I know I didn't show this necklace. I've got a lot of jewelry to show. I really do. I'm trying to give you a variety of different types of things, and like this next one is brand new necklace. I'm trying to get the bag open. One of my problems is I need to get up and stretch every so often. It's really difficult to do. I need to rearrange my room here and fix it so I can walk around and talk while I have you guys listening in without disrupting my microphone or anything like that. But hopefully you can hear me okay still, even when I am moving around a bit. Okay. I'll pass on the bracelet. What are we going to do? I think I covered all the non-jewelry items I planned, except for the map, maybe. Is anybody interested? These are reproduction maps of the American operations in World War One. They're full color, showing the various divisions of armies where they were positioned in the different countries. I think this one, like I'm looking at now, is the Saint Mihiel region, which I think is part of France. And then there's another one. There's like I have three different ones. So, oh yeah, I got my water here. I drink all the time. Here's the thing. Hopefully, I'm not hearing you drink. So, I did show this one last week. So I'm just making sure I didn't doing anything too often the same. I want to make sure I'm not showing something I already showed you guys last week or the week before. But, okay. And let's do the necklace. Okay. And I gotta kill this, zoom out. And so this is not, I didn't see a name on this. It's a lobster claw style. It's a double. It is supposed to be double like that. It is the way it is made. Just a silver tone with lots of these little circular things on them. I don't think there's a name anywhere on these. I'm looking, but I don't see anything. And I didn't see anything on the top. So we're just going to call this the, how am I going to call it? Silver tone with silver necklace. And we'll start this one at $6. How's that? I don't know much about it. Anything. There goes my display. I'm going to lay it out like this on the table so you can see it better. Pick up my display that fell down. I'm going to say it's probably 18-inch. All total. Oh, maybe even more than that. That looks like I'm getting 10-inch right there, so that's 20. So it does, and then there is I had it fully extended, almost fully extended. So you can see it's quite a long, really long extended chain between my fingers here. And then the lobster claw style clasp, pretty hefty one actually. And you can see the chain is, very durable chain. Double loop like that. Okay. So that's what we'll call it. All right. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing next. So bear with me for a second. Okay, we showed that, and that. I thought I had a ring to show tonight. I guess not. Showed those last week. So that ain't gonna happen. Showed that. I showed these in the past recently. I'm just looking at the rings I've got here. Make sure I didn't show them already. I can't recall. Terrible. My memory's awful that way. Sometimes I have to go back through some of my previous videos and say, did I show these? Yeah, I did. I didn't have much in the way of sterling tonight. I'm surprised, actually. So, all right, we're going to pass on this. And take that off the screen. And came across this set of earrings. I don't know if the box is right, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. Let me bring it up closer. And I think I want to kill this light because I think it's too much for that. Okay, so these are earrings, and you can see they're in that nice little case. It says that they are Austrian crystal, which I believe, and then it says November, which I don't know. I don't know the stone from November, but let me see if we can get that to focus. Come on. So they are this style of earring, and it's got little white and yellow. Come on, focus. Maybe if I zoom out. Wait, it just doesn't want to focus. Yeah, that's better. Let me zoom in from there. So you can see the yellow and the clear. So I don't know what the stone is from November. I meant to look it up. I did not see any markings on this. But then again, I didn't look at it really closely. But it looks like a pretty high quality earring. But I am looking to see if I'm looking really quickly here while I have my I have the light on for a second. Just checking for markings in case there is something I could give you. But I don't see anything. So there they are. Oops, that's not on camera very well, is it? There we go. So gold tone with crystal. Earrings. We'll start these at, these are really nice earrings. I'm going to start these at 7. And I'll give you the box if you want it, of course. So I have to, you know what, I'm kind of curious now. You go to Google and say, okay, what is the birthstone for November? Topaz and citrine. That makes sense. Citrine would be most likely what the Yellowstone is supposed to be. I see Kelly at 7. They're really pretty. And like I say, the quality looks to be quite good. I don't want to lose the backing on that. It's in there. There it is. There's the back. Okay. Oh, cool. That is really nice. I'll give you the box then. Obviously, it might be a nice gift. Apologize for the, you can tell it's a little dusty. It's been sitting around a while. Sold to Kelly for $7. Thank you, Kelly. Let me write that down. Okay, and put them back in the box. So, all right. I am just checking around here. One more thing. Oh, I did flash this up there before. I do have a Coca-Cola sign. I think I showed this a couple weeks ago. Glare. Let me get that off. There. I'm sorry. I'm trying to put the earrings back in the case here. And I don't want to lose the. back into it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And so, yeah, boxes with it. I got it. So Coca-Cola sign. I'm going to start this one at $10, and I think that's a good deal. And Coca-Cola stuff can be really hot. This is a does it say it's official? I can't recall. Apparently somebody had it mounted before. I could see those little strips that you mount the thing on with it when they have the pull things on it. But let's see. The size of this is, this looks like about 16 or so across. Yep, 16 by 12. So, yes, I think it's a good deal for Coca-Cola collectors, if there's anybody out there. Or if you're a reseller, buy it off of me and turn on and flip it for $10 more or whatever. So, Black Mamba, hey, welcome to the channel. You can see my email at the top of I didn't pin it, but it's at the top of the chat. It'll also pop up when I'm not having anything pinned on the window there, so you can email me if I haven't got your information, your real name, your YouTube name, and your shipping information, and your PayPal information. I don't know, PayPal, the email you use for PayPal. So anyway, so there we are. There's the sign. Oh, thank you. Wow, that was quick. So all right, wonderful. Anyway, so there's what we got. There's an interesting sign. Look what I'm going to do next. Meanwhile, here, I get these really. What did I do with the other one? Did I drop it? Probably. Oh, there's my ruler. Sorry, I'm just trying to find something I misplaced here somewhere. I probably dropped it. Covered it up. There it is. Okay. So, all right. No interest in that. That's okay. I'll probably try and put that out there on eBay or whatever. Etsy or one of those sites. I've got stuff on Etsy, a little bit on Poshmark, a little bit on, and a lot more on eBay. All right, here's another pair of earrings. These are kind of what I would call cutesy earrings. Little mushroom earrings. Those are acrylic. We'll start these at $5. How's that? And they're on. I don't know if they're surgical steel or. I'm going to test it real quick here. If it's okay, the air wires are magnetic, so they're not sterling. They're cute little things. This purple and white mushrooms earrings. And I can find it again. I am literally sitting in a room, floor to ceiling stuff that I'm just trying to figure out what to continue with here today. So I promised my wife we wouldn't go more than 2.5 hours, so I am going to try and wrap it up by about 10 o'clock. Apologize for those who are coming in late. But you're welcome to go back through the video, of course, and if you see something, email me with your, and the first come, first serve on that, of course. I said I showed some Fire King earlier. I have more Fire King than what I showed. I have a lot of Ray Dunn stuff that I didn't show tonight, and like I say, I've got some ephemera. If anybody's into British royalty, I have some really interesting stuff on that for ephemera. I haven't decided what to do with it yet, but yeah, I'm trying to see what I've got within reach. Oh, I do this other. I've shown this other sign in the past. I'm going to show it tonight. Let's see. We'll pass on these guys. It's a cute little sign that I'm not sure it will all show. Almost all shows. Let me get my camera position. There we go. Oh, perfect. It's just a little small wooden sign. It's got Velcro in the back for some reason. That must have been mounted that way. And you can read it. Any interest in a sign like this? And it's about, what is that? About, it's not very tall. I think it's like an inch and a half. Yeah, an inch and a half. And, well, no, it's much longer than a foot. Let's see here. About 17, almost 18 inch in length. We'll start this one at $6. Anybody's interested? There it is. I think there's a bit of humor in there, obviously. Some people may take offense at it. You never know. But I have several friends that are dairy farmers, so they probably wouldn't take it. They might take offense at milk doesn't solve your problems. But anyway, well, that's up there. Let me see what I'm going to do next. And I guess we'll do another necklace. I got a lot of these long necklaces tonight. I don't know where that is. Try and double this one up. Pretty good at doing that, but okay. Yeah, for like somebody's little private bar. I'm thought about giving. My daughter has a. Hey Beth, thanks for joining us. So hope you're doing well tonight. So, yeah, an at-home bar. Yeah, my daughter has a small one like that in their break room down in their rec room, what you want to call it. So, okay, all right. No interest in that. That's fine. I'll get rid of that. So, oh, that's okay, Beth. All right. Pass on this. No, good going. Drop it after I had it all nicely displayed. Okay, I haven't quite figured out what's going on with this. Now, this is where I should have had my wife look at this before I displayed it. It's okay. I'm just going to show it to you, and then we'll try and explain it. Try and explain what I'm doing. What I'm doing wrong. Okay. Set my clipboard out of the way here so mess things up. Okay, so it's got a really interesting pendant here. But this blue, I think it's a dyed agate of some sort, and it does have a gold foil on it, as you can see. I'm pretty sure it's that really thin. They put that really thin coat of gold on there, and then they have these iridescent little squarish beads on and a gold tone chain. But this thing is just incredibly long. I'm going to lay it on the table, and I think that's the only way to do it. And we get a tape measure. And so if I go from the full length of it is 18, so that makes it 36-inch chain. But this is the weird part. See this on the chain? There are two different clasps. So is this an extender chain that I'm connecting to, and it connects to where this other, I'll get a clip, clasp is, so you have that, and now it's a little shorter, and like I said, it's kind of a more brassy than gold tone chain, and these little iridescent cubes. So I'm really totally confused by this particular necklace, on how it works. Maybe it's supposed to be a double stranded. I don't know. So, but I'm going to put it out there, and we're going to call this a blue pendant with gold foil necklace. We'll start this at I'm going to start at $10, only because of the gold foil and all that kind of. See if anybody's interested in that, and maybe you can figure out why that is. But that is a really iridescent, a really bright blue that they did on that. And of course, it doesn't really matter which side you see, which is kind of cool. So. Yeah, like I said, and these faceted little beads are kind of iridescent and catch the light. They're really dark. And then the brass colored chain. So with the two clasps. But I call this an extender because it does have that little bead on the end. So I figure that's the extender. But anyway, that's kind of what it is. Very, very unusual. Well, little hijack. So anyway, that is what we have there. And while that is up, let me see what we can do here for something else next. No, I had more. Well, I said I literally have boxes and boxes behind me here. I'm just looking to see if there's something I thought might be interested in. Okay, what did I do? Okay. Nope. Oh, there it is. I have it right in front of me, I think. Oh, I thought I had it right in front of me. Oh my goodness. I had another pendant right in front of me, and I laid it down somewhere. Huh. I'm going to go crazy. Oh, there it is. I had it hanging up. Good grief. Okay. Nobody wants that particular necklace. So we will switch to a different one. What's other necklace? I'll put this board up. Bring the camera up and down. This is on leather. It sort of looks like malachite. I say sort of looks like because I'm not 100% confident on leather. So let's see, passing on that one. And we're going to start this one at $7 also. This will be my number. My number for tonight, I think. 7. It does have an extender chain. So I think it's like 16 and the extender chain makes it 18. It's got a little bit of, this is the stone with a little bit of filigree. It is cold when I put it up against my cheek. And you can see the filigree and the backing on it. So there it is. Okay, now that's up. I've only got a few more minutes, and I promised, like I said, I promised Catherine that I wouldn't go too late. She's as long as, but it sounds like the dogs are behaving. So, but what did they want to show us? Oh, I did have one more sign. I'll show that because I know Kelly might be interested in it. I did have a couple. I think I may have shown this before too, though. I'm not sure. I also have stamps too. I have some really interesting stamps. I showed something last week. These are stamps of various countries. Like one's San Marino, one's Hungary, and these are all stamps from back in the '60s. In the '60s, so anybody has a stamp like Jordan, Czechoslovakia, stuff like that. What's the other one? Who's that? Rwanda. They're all from the '60s. Okay, no interested in the malachite. No problem. Pass on that. And one more sign and maybe one more piece of jewelry, and then we're going to call it a night. I got to back up my camera, probably. Yep, even with that. We're back. So another repro sign. Let me get it all in there if I can. Uncle John's. I'm still clipping off the top here. Hang on. Trying to get it all in frame here. Okay, so what it says along the top, these are repros. These are not originals. Okay, they're metal signs. It says Lashes Bitters Company. New York, Chicago, San Francisco, Uncle John's Pure Sassafras, Brain Tonic. And on the bottom, again, it has Lashes Bitters Company, blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to call this the Sassafras sign. And I think I was starting these at 7, so we'll start this one at 7 as well. If there's any interest. These are repros, not originals. Make sure you state that clearly. I see Kelly at 7. And we'll wait a few seconds here to make sure, but I'll write down that it is sold. And we will say sold to Kelly for $7. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Kelly. Okay. I got one more really, really big necklace, and it's marked NY on the tag. I assume New York. And let me see if I can find a way to show this somehow. Let me get the length on this first. I think it's going to be really, really long. It's really pretty though. This thing overall length is, looks like 18-inch. That makes it 36-inch chain. Let me see if I can hang it on this board. And okay, well, it almost fits. Almost fits. Okay, so there's a 36-inch Gold tone. I'm going to just call it gold tone. Gold tone and beads. I guess trying to give a short and simple name here. Gold tone and bead necklace. We'll start this one at $8. Okay. So as you can see, it's really, really long. Let me get my other light turned on, see if that helps a little bit. And so this thing's incredibly long, as you can see. And so you could double it up easily, like so. And the clasp, there's a, as long as this thing is, it does have an extender on it. And the tag says NY. If that means anything to anybody? I live in New York. So let me show you what some of the beads look like up close. They're kind of a purplish, as you can see, color in the light. It's interesting because when you look at them from a distance, they look more black, but it's such a deep purple that from a distance they look more black. And then you get some clear crystals in there as well, and little gold beads, little gold cube beads. So I'm going to lay it out like so on the table and show it that way. Let's show the color really nicely, I think. Alrighty. And I think that's going to end it for me tonight. I was hoping to do something. I think I may go back to my 8:30 starts next week. It just seems to work better for both me and for most everybody who tunes in, especially for the West Coast folks. The folks out in mountain time zones. I think the later is better. So I've got one more unusual piece to show, and then I'll call it night. I think I showed this in one of my auctions several weeks ago. A good crowd tonight, so we'll show you this and see if there's any interest in this. Okay, I will pass on this. I have wooden carving. I know I've shown this before. And I honestly don't know a fair price on this. I've tried to research them and never had much luck. But I've seen, I guess I was going to say similar carvings, but not on driftwood like that. So I don't really know what a fair price is. I'm going to say, I'm going to start it at 15, I guess. We'll see. Oops, that's full of word carving, right? We'll start this at 15. And show you. I don't even know if there's a little X mark on there. And somebody told me that maybe it's the actual person's signature. So, or an indication of where it came from. I honestly don't know. Let me see if I can find something here on it. They do mention, when I try to look this up, they do mention some various artists that it could be, but typically these are going for, some of these are going for as much as $30, $40, I guess. But I couldn't find anything quite like this one, or even what type of bird that's supposed to be. So I would venture, anybody who's the Oh shoot! I used to know what bird watchers, the name, the technical name for people who are bird watchers. What, anybody out there know what it is? I'm guessing it's some kind of seafaring bird, but I don't know. All I can tell you is it is very delicately perched on that thing, and that's a real piece of filter. This is wood. This is all wood. This is not resin. Anyway, I have some unique stuff I've managed to get. I have a friend who asked me to sell some stuff for her, and she has some really unique stuff. I have a pair of handcuffs from the Civil War. Isn't that cool? I've got to clean them up a little bit though. And an African, I think an African mask. I don't know where I got that, but it's really interesting. It might be African. It may not be. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, there's the bird. And we'll pass on that. That's okay. And we're going to call it a night, I think. Like I say, not because I can't handle it, but because I did make a promise that I wasn't going to go much past 10 o'clock. So anyway, thank you all for being here, and thank you for your purchases. Those are bought stuff. And even if you didn't already give me the thumbs up on like, I would appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do. I have to thank Beth again for all her help last week, and I picked up some new folks. It's not late for me. I'm usually up till well past 11 o'clock at night, but I usually try to start it. I've been starting at these on 8 o'clock, 8:30. I started a little earlier tonight so I could go a little longer, but it's not so much late for me as it is for the dog. Dogs. We have two. We have a Basset Corgi mix who's 3 years old, 3.5 now, and we have a Jack Russell, not sure mix that she's originally told us they thought cattle dog, but I don't think so. There are some tendencies in her that makes me think more of not pit bull, but something along those lines. But she's just turned a year old, and she's getting better. She was quite a handful for quite a while, so it's getting better, and so we're good. But evenings they're usually pretty quiet, so that's why I can get away with this. But not for much longer. So anyway, so yep. All right. Well, thank you everybody, and see you next week. Not sooner, Lord willing. Have a great night and a great weekend.